Good day and welcome to another edition of Sharing Trade Information on Global Trade Tutor. In this series of video, I'll be talking about China. Now, China is a very important country, a country that is the largest exporter in the world and second largest importer in the world. US is the largest importer in the world and second largest exporter in the world. China has become a major force in recent time, and any individual looking to do business in any country, you definitely want to do business with China, particularly sending raw materials and intermediate product to China. It's important to know that intermediate product is a big deal now in the world. Intermediate product basically means the product is not raw and the product is not finished. And China, being an industrial nation, highly industrialized nation, purchase a lot of these kind of products, particularly primary raw materials and intermediate product, because all these help them to be able to create jobs for their people. As a matter of fact, I'm aware there are some products you can't export finished to China. Why? Because it must be processed in China. Now, these are the kind of policy that China have in mind, or China have put in place to be able to ensure that its country is not a dumping ground, but rather its country, so is the import of China is deliberately targeted to be able to attract raw materials required for manufacturing and intermediate product required for production within the country. In fact, sometimes governments set up a trading company and government fund those trading companies, and those trading companies purchase these raw materials and stockpile them so that when organizations, manufacturing companies, factories need them and they don't have enough cash, they can buy from this trading company. This trading company can even help them issue a letter of credit while the good is on the way. Then they can pay this trading company later. These are the kind of policy and initiative that China has put in place, beyond also the incentive that China gives to its businesses. Now, in this series, I'll be looking at, it's going to be about 20 videos, and I'll be looking at different products, from raw materials to machine and equipment, to precious metals, to transportation, to metal product, to oil product, to foodstuff, to clothing, to different products, animal product, packaged medicament, chemical product that China is importing into its country. By the way, the import volume of China is over $2 trillion. Global trade is just about 24, $25 trillion. And China alone is taking up over $2 trillion. That tells you the level of dependence of the global economy on China. So let's go. The last on my list is wood product. Wood product. Wood product. Wood product. $18.1 billion. Wood product, $18.1 billion. You know, we talk about climate change, greenhouse gas emission, degradation of the environment, rising sea level, rising temperature. But China is importing a lot of raw wood. Nigeria is a source for them. Even though it's banned in Nigeria, people are exporting a lot of raw wood. Can you imagine? Sunwood, rough wood, fuel wood constitute about 88% of China import. 88% of China import. Almost 90% of China import. Sunwood, 38.1%. That's the wood that is cut and sawn into planks. Sunwood, 38.1%. Rough wood, meaning this is not sawn, is the wood itself. Maybe they've removed the bark. Rough wood, that's the wood itself, the log, 36%. And then fuel wood, those are the cut wood, the waste that are cut during sun, during cutting out of the trees, cutting the branches, the little branches, little wood here and there that can be used for fuel. 14.6%. And majority of this wood are from Africa. Because China use them as raw materials. If China is spending 18 billion to import wood, I have an idea that China is not really felling its own trees, but want others to fell their trees, and they will use it. So there's still a problem in the global economy. We need to decide on what we want to do with trees, if we want the tree to keep standing, because we need those oxygen produced from those trees for the environment and to be able to absorb all the CO2 in the air in order to reduce the temperature created by the greenhouse gas emission. Sunwood, 38.1%, rough-wood, 36%, foilwood, 14.6%, shapewood, 1.23%, veneer sheet, 2.51%, particle board, 1.87%, plywood, 1.11%, wood charcoal, 0.9%. So those that are into those charcoal merchants, you don't have market in China. Wood carpentry, 0.60%. You see this plywood, for example, and particle board, they produce a lot of them in China, and they use all this wood to produce them in China. I've come to the end of the session for the Chinese import. If you find this video interesting, give us a thumbs up, like, share. But all that we have discussed, about 20 different videos, all that we have discussed basically point you to different products that you can import from China. That you can export to China, because these are the products that China import from different parts of the world. I believe this will have added a lot of value to you, helping you to be able to know what indeed can I export to China, and giving you a sense of the demand and the volume of import of this product in different locations by different importer and for different product importing into China. Remember, China is the second largest importer in the world. If you want to be a big-time exporter, you might want to find a place in China for you to be a major supplier of one of the items that they import from around the world. My name is Delayemi Bob, and I'm your export doctor. See you in the next video. And by the way, in the next video, we are going to be looking at another interesting country who is a major importer in the world. Stay tuned to the channel, and looking forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.